Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm Kathy Hester of HealthySlowCooking.com, and today I wanted to talk about making your own non-dairy creamers. I'm going to do a couple of variations, but the main recipe I'm going to talk about comes from Outrageous Oatmeals, which is actually going out of print. So there's 10 books left at Amazon. So if you really want a copy, it's one of... I get a lot of really good feedback about this. There's lots of weird oatmeal recipes like oatmeal liqueur and still cut oat sausage and things like that. So anyhow, if you're interested in it, you might want to go ahead and get a copy before it's gone forever. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to make a variation of that creamer, and I'm going to come back later and actually put up the link to the recipe on my blog, Healthy Slow Cooking. There are other creamers up there as well, so you could go and kind of browse through those a little bit too. So today I'm going to show you how to make a creamer with oats, which you probably already have. We're going to use rolled oats because that's the cheapest and most easy to have in your pantry at all times. So let me switch cameras and we'll get going. It's going to be super, super easy and quick. You will hear some loud blending, so I will warn you, okay? So one of the things that I've learned since I've been doing this is that a little bit of chia seed goes a long way. So I have some ground chia seed, and what happens is oat milk especially separates a little bit more than some others, and this will help it keep together. And I made a couple of different creamers this morning, and I'll show you what they look like after we make this. So we're going to put half a cup of rolled oats, and instead of a Vitamix, this time I'm using a Ninja blender, just because I wanted to try out some less expensive blenders, because I don't think anyone should have to buy a $500 blender. So, and right now I'm really kind of digging it. I think we got it for under $80. And I have yet to try out my little spice mill attachment, but I was pretty excited about that too. So if you guys could tell me what kind of blenders you have, that would be really helpful. And for some reason, I am not seeing your comments. So I'm trying to go and see if I can get those up. Overlays, recording options. Window. Comments and reactions. Yay! Okay, guys, so I see some of you are watching. So tell me what blender you have. Do you have a Ninja, a Blendtec, a Vitamix, a KitchenAid, your grandma's blender? What kind of blender do you have? So I would love to know. And this one, again, it's pretty powerful, and you're going to hear how loud it is. I decided to use, this is an Auto IQ one, to use the extract. They have something that's super powerful, like ice crushing or seed crushing setting on your blender. You want to use that. Most modern blenders do. Some of the older ones are not going to have them because we weren't doing all this. I'm going to add a cup of water to a half cup rolled oats, and then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of ground chia seed. And you could grind your own chia seeds. I'm just lazy. So you can still see some specks in there. You're going to see some specks still in your creamer. And there's Max saying hi to you. You saying hi to everybody, Maxie? Max wants to know what this is. He doesn't like the blender because it's too loud. Okay. Then the other thing we can do at this point is we can add sweeteners and flavorings. So you can put some agave nectar, monk fruit. You can put in just plain old sugar. I'm going to go ahead in this one and put a little bit of agave. I know a lot of you don't like agave, so you could use maple syrup. You can really use whatever sweetener you like. And you can't get that in the grocery store, for sure. Now, another thing are flavorings. So I have a lot of extracts. So the original one uses almond extract. I recently picked up this really cool pumpkin spice extract that I haven't used yet, that I'm dying to use. Plain old vanilla, because I love making a thick, really rich creamer with vanilla to use in my Earl Grey tea and make a London fog. And you could use amaretto extracts, really whatever extract you wanted. If you're feeling flush, you could just scrape some vanilla bean seeds in there, but vanilla is pretty expensive right now. I'm going to guesstimate about a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more, because I know I want this to be really, really, really vanilla. Okay, so now I've got my sweetener in, got my flavoring in, 1/2 cup oats, 1 cup water, 1 teaspoon chia seeds. So I'm going to screw the cap on, and I'm going to put it in here. And it's going to be loud for about a minute, and then we're probably going to run it twice. And see, one of the things this does is like a blend tack. So it does a little searing. It's good. And it's got one more time. Now the blending is stopped. So sorry, you guys, I know it was loud. A lot of times what I will do is blend it a second time just to get it extra smooth, but I'm not going to put you through that. That's just wrong. Let's get this off of here. There we go. Okay. So what you're going to see, it's going to be all floofy and everything. And you can see where I just take the blade off that there are still some particles, right? Some thicker particles you might not want in your creamer. You could use a nut milk bag, or you could use a fine mesh strainer. Hopefully, one of the good things about using the ground chia seed is that will help it kind of gel up a little bit faster. I love oat milk and oat cream, but it really does tend to just separate very, very, very quickly. And that's no fun at all. So if you're doing it in a fine mesh strainer, you can see that it's got a layer on the bottom. So I'm just going to do this until we're just left with the sludge. And that sludge isn't anything bad or disgusting. And in fact, you could use it as a flavor boost in your oatmeal or any kind of breakfast cereal. If you're making some cookies, you could add that right into the cookies if you just wanted to add a little extra fiber. And see, that's all that is. Now with oat milk, you will notice it's a little more thick and gooey almost, and that's just natural. But if we look here and see, it's a little thinner right now, but what's going to happen is as it sits with this chia seed, it's going to thicken up even more. So let me show you one I made earlier, and I'm going to use a knife. So you see how thick that one is? And that's using the same amount of oats, water, and chia seed. So after it sits for just a little while, it's going to be nice and thick. And this is what I'm drinking in my tea today. So you can kind of see it pouring here. I wouldn't leave it more than maybe 5 or 6 days in the refrigerator. And so see how thick and rich that is? It's really nice. So a couple of other options are, this is the original recipe from my book, Outrageous Oatmeals, that has the chia seed added into it, so it's much thicker. And so I use this OXO dressing container. It's a great way to kind of store it in the fridge without it getting in the way or having the cap fly off or anything like that. I also made this really luscious chocolate creamer. So I actually didn't make this one with oats. I made it with pecans. So I used, let's see, I wrote down the recipe that I used. So I used 1 cup of water, only a 1/4 cup of pecans, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder or cacao powder, 1/2 teaspoon of chia seeds, and I think in this one I used a little bit of, I think I used regular sugar to sweeten this one, or monk fruit. So see, this will make an amazing, amazing mocha. And it will have a little bit of the pecan taste to it as well. So one of the reasons, and I'll change back, one of the reasons I like to use oats is because it's cheap, it's easy, you have rolled oats in your pantry. I always have pecans because Cheryl gets free pecans where she works. So I have pounds and pounds in the freezer. So the good thing about pecans and cashews are that if you blend them, like double blend them, or if you blend them in a very powerful blender for a little bit longer, you won't have anything to strain out or use a nut milk bag on. So it's just kind of quicker and easier. And these nuts are soft, so you don't even really have to soak them. So hopefully you guys got a little bit of an idea of what kind of creamers you'd like. I'd love to know what kind of flavor creamers you are your favorites, or what kind of drinks you usually use them in. I use these in teas and coffees, but like you could also make a naturally sweetened one like that chocolate one. You could have soaked a couple of dates and put dates in there and maybe even some coconut, and then it would be kind of like a caramel chocolate coconut, which sounds pretty good to me right now. Except I don't have any iced coffee, so that's not happening. So you guys, let me know if you have any questions about what we've done today, and let me know what creamers you use. And if you want, you can tell me the brand of creamer you like as well. If you're using just rolled oats, your creamer is just ridiculously inexpensive too. So I hope you guys have a great week, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.